And that includes all kinds of sort of atypical stuff, like you can listen to water, or very good at amplifying sort of small sounds.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So,
Great.
this is just a spring which I'm just pinching it. Now it's not going to do anything if I hold it up next to it and pluck my spring. Right, stand still, be next to, right? It's completely deaf to it. But the moment I, here, this is a really nice spring. So you get that sort of giant space war sound. An awful lot of sound effects for movies are made with contact microphones because they do an excellent job of picking up sounds through surfaces that you can't really hear in any other way. Not really great for listening in on your neighbors, but so their sort of commonest application is in musical instrument pickups, but the applications are sort of too numerous to mention. Pretty much anything sounds good when. Where's that pad of paper? Take a sheet of this. So we can we'll just clip this to a piece of paper.
Wow, great.
Right, pretty much.
Work, I think.
And that sounds. Is that what that said? I hate work too. So pretty much, and what you'll notice is that it's a very different sound than the one that one would get by ripping a sheet of paper and miking it with an air mic, because you're actually listening to the material itself, not to the vibration that the material imparts on the air and that gets picked up by the air microphone. It's a very different kettle of fish. You can also do. You can also just submerge these microphones in water, and they're more or less impervious to the effects of water, and then you can record fish and microorganisms and stuff like that. I have some nice recordings.
Can you shake the water up so I can hear the...
Yeah, but unfortunately it's really got to be attached, otherwise you're just going to hear it. You're just going to hear it shaking around. It really needs to have a firm interface with the stuff that it's... Oh, never mind. I won't play. I've got some recordings of pond life that I made. It's sort of very tiny microorganisms that manage to make enough sound that you can actually hear them with a contact mic. You wouldn't be able to hear them any other way, really. And this kind of microphone functions equally well in reverse, which is to say it makes a damn fine loudspeaker. And this is the kind of loudspeaker that you find in the greeting card. Because it's flat and small, and it's able to be mounted between two thin sheets of card. Let's see if I can get this one working. This one is this would make an excellent demonstration for a large group too, because it.
So in the card, it's the actual cardboard that's making the sound.
The cardboard is there as a resonator,
Right.
but it's the piezo disc that's making the sound.
Right, but okay, yeah, you couldn't hear without the cardboard.
Well, yeah, I'll demonstrate that in just a second. Okay, so let's feed this with something. What feeds that? This feeds Buchan American. Alright, so let's. This is the one that may actually require you to come up and hear this, because it's very quiet. Like. Okay. You guys can't hear that.
I can hear it.
Okay. Okay, so right now I've got this thing sort of set up as a loudspeaker. You probably want to walk up here and feel this, because you're not going to get it any other way. So if everybody's, once you're up here and you're quiet, you're sort of very careful and just sort of hold this thing in the air. Now remember, this thing listens best through its surfaces, which means that it doesn't really couple to the air very well, right? So the same thing is true when I use it in reverse. It doesn't couple to the air very well when I want to push the air around. You can kind of hear it a little bit, right? Just barely. Can you sort of hear that a little bit?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Right? But if you feel it, grab it in your hand. Right? You can really hear it. Or if you guys don't care about sharing a little bit of spit, if you just sort of bite it, Okay, so if you bite it, you don't have to get sort of spitty with it. I didn't sweat, I just sort of clench it between your teeth. Right now you have sort of a private concert in your head.
Is it
Right?
loud?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
No, because what's happening is now is that instead of it coupling to the air and pushing the air around, what it's doing is coupling to the bones in your head and making your eardrums vibrate because your eardrums are attached to the bones in your head.
What if you put it on the table?
Well, we'll do
That's
that
so
in just a
amazing.
second. Isn't that amazing? Somebody else want to
Can I
bite
try
this?
that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's worth it.
Everyone should try it.
It is very worth it. Some of the
Weird.
and this principle is the a lot of deaf people, for instance, who really don't have good eardrums anymore, right? Whose hearing isn't very well coupled to vibrations in the air, can still hear very well through the bones in their head. And so they use devices like this where they either have something that they bite occasionally or they have something permanently implanted on their jaw, and that's what's known as a bone conduction hearing aid because they can still hear through their heads pretty well. Anybody else want to bite this before I do something else?
It's really
Don't be
worth
shy,
it.
don't be shy. It's really cool. It's the coolest thing that'll ever happen to you.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Just,
Yeah.
swear to God,
If
everybody
you're
else
here,
did.
you really should do that.
Isn't that something
Pretty
else? And oh, see, now you're not afraid. Your friend did it.
I have the swine flu.
So, but all by itself, it does a crummy job of pushing the air around. But the moment I just touch it to a plastic cup, what I've done now is sort of turn the cup into a resonator. And the cup is really good at coupling to the air because it's basically a giant membrane. So something as simple even as a piece of paper already improves the situation, which is what the greeting card does. Right? These are the kind of loudspeakers you have in your cell phones a lot of time too. At least the one that does the ringing is usually a piezo disc. And if we attach it to the table, right? It does a pretty good job of that too.